Okay, well we live. This is Kojo from Real Ghana Boxing. Here with Hall of Fame, uh, future Hall of Fame referee, coach Ronnie Shield. How you doing?
Doing great, man.
So how's everything? You okay? You inside, huh? You everything good for you?
Everything is good, man. Yes, I'm inside. I'm at home, just chilling at home.
Okay, so you haven't been going anywhere, huh? No training, nothing, or
No training. This is the fourth week of no training.
oh wow, okay. Last I talked to you, you said you were opening a new gym. Did you
Yes, I did. I opened a new gym. We opened on like January, the end of January, and I think we went through March through the after the first week of March, we had to close down.
oh wow, okay. So is it totally different location, or is it close to your old gym, or?
It's close to the old gym, but
Oh.
it's about 5 minutes from the old gym.
Okay, so it's like new. You got new enhancements, a lot of new things, not new gear and everything, or is it?
Yes, yes,
Oh,
yeah. We did everything actually.
oh, real. Wow. See, I was meaning. I want to. Hopefully, one day I can come and check you out, man, because it sounds like you have something nice going on down there.
Yeah, we do, man. I mean, it's really, really nice. It's in Stafford.
Okay. So last talked to you, FA Jagba man was on the scene, man. He's fighting a lot. How often he's fighting about three times a year? Is that 3 or 4 times?
Yeah, well, last year he fought 3 times. The plan this year was to get 4 fights in, but of course we can't do it now. So, but he'll definitely fight again before the year's off.
Okay. Okay, that's because he fought. Let's see. I think that was
March
a
7th. March 7th.
Rosva. Yeah, was it Ros? It was Rosvan Kajana, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And how did you see that fight? What was what did you take from that fight? Anything FA can improve on? What did you take from that fight?
Well, you can always improve on every fight, but I think in this last fight he showed that he can really his defense his defense picked up, his punch count picked up again, and he's just doing so well right now. He's doing really good.
Yeah, I think because FA is he a late starter? Because I know he was in the Nigerian Olympics, but he's actually learning fast. I can see, huh?
Yes, he is. Yeah, he was a late starter. He didn't start doing anything until he was 18 years old, and he was a soccer player. And being a soccer player, he decided somebody told him he should try boxing, and he did, and he fell in love with it, and so that's why you know, he went to the Olympics, of course, and then after that, he signed with Shelly Finkel and Wingstar, and they called me and asked me was I interested. I told him, yeah, let me take a look at him, and he's been here ever since for a little over 2 years now.
Oh, okay. Now, see, I don't know about a lot of people, and it may not know your history, man. But I mean, I know you work with some of the greatest, man. Can you mention that? So I know you worked at Holyfield, Purnell. Like,
Yeah,
who can you give us a little short list of? I mean, if you can.
yeah. I mean, Holyfield, Pernell Whitaker, Mildred Taylor, Rocky Lockridge, David Tua, of course, Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson, uh, Juan Diaz, Vernon Forrest. I mean,
Man,
there's so many more, man. So many more that I worked with. Michael Mora. I worked with Michael Mora for a little while. Uh,
wow.
I've had a few guys.
Yeah, man, right now. I'm thinking you, man. I'm just surprised, man. No one talks like how great of a trainer your history, man. I think you're probably the best trainer right now of today, man. Because I mean, being that you was a boxer and you was a trainer, man, and you had a long boxing career, right? Somewhat of
Yeah,
a
yeah. Well, it was somewhat a long boxing career. I fought 6 years as an amateur and then 6 years as a pro. So, I quit pretty early, but I was like 30 years old when I quit boxing, and then I started training right after that.
okay. Because I remember I was reading that there was a fight. You were fighting. It was a Japanese fighter or something, right? And then
Yes, in
yeah,
Japan.
yeah. Was that your title shot, right? That you had.
Yeah.
And
Well,
you
I had two title shots. I fought him and I fought Billy Costello. Uh, I beat the Japanese guy, Hamada, but I lost to Billy Castillo.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's see, man. That so, but I do know that I mean, you were a good boxer, man, and it translates to your training. Because I mean, you know, Pernell. How early did you get Pernell?
Well, he fought in '84 Olympics, and I started working with them like right after the '84 Olympics in 1988, right before he fought for the world title.
Oh, wow. Okay. And as far as Holyfield, how long
I
did you
started
train?
with I started off with Holyfield, Evander Holyfield, Meadow Taylor, Pernell Whitaker, Vivaki Lockridge, all at the same time.
Man, hey, you busy man, man. Even today, man. I know you working with Jermall, you working with
Yes,
FA, and you working with Rigondeaux too, right?
yes.
Okay. So hey, let me ask you, since I mentioned Rigondeaux, because I want to go over a few boxes if you have the time.
Yeah, go
Rigondeaux.
ahead.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Rigondeaux. So what's the deal with Rigondeaux? Because I know is he how is he doing? I mean, give me the back what's going on with him, the status.
Oh, he's doing great, man. You know, he just won the WBA uh, title at bantamweight at 118 pounds. So he wants to fight at 115 pounds, just one fight at 115 pounds. He wants to fight the WBC champ. And the kid from, I think the kid from, I forget where the kid is from, but the kid got the WBC title. He wants to go down in weight one more time. You know, he's fought his whole career at 122, which he
Oh,
never was. He never was a 22 pounder. He was all, you know, he walks around at 121 pounds.
yeah.
But he just felt comfortable up there at 122. And of course, you know, he went up in weight to fight Lomachenko, which he should have never done.
Never
He
done
realized,
that, yeah.
yeah, he realized that now he was just way too small. And so, but you know, he went down to 118, just won the world title there. So now he wants to go down to 115. He want to do the opposite of what everybody else is doing. Everybody else is going up in weight. He wants to go down. But he want to fight one fight at 115, as long as it's for the WBC. If it's not WBC, then he don't want it. So, but he'll stay at 22 and try to unify the belts at 118.
Okay, so that does that lead us? So he doesn't want to Inoue. Is he searching for the Inoue
Yes,
title?
that's anyway. Yeah,
Okay.
he wants to fight him for that title too. But like I say, he was hoping that, well, you know, until all this stuff happened, you know, with the virus, he was hoping to get a fight at 118. I'm sorry, at 115, and then by the end of the year, fight Inu at 118 again, you know, for his belt.
Okay. Oh, that sounds great. So I mean, because we all know, like as far as Ring of he has been. I don't really want to say short end of the stick, but it's like he hasn't been treated fairly in boxing, man. What do you think about how he's been treated?
Well, you know, it's just different, man. You know, it's just the politics of boxing,
Yeah.
you know, and you know, he's just such a good guy. People just took advantage of him in every way possible, you
Mm.
know. And like, you know, when he fought Lomachenko, they took his belts from him because he went up to fight Lomachenko, which is not fair. You
No.
know, guys do it all the time, but it depends on who you are that they do it to, you know. I
Yeah.
mean, if you look at Canelo, he been going up fighting all these fights, right? Different weight classes. Still got the belts that he had before, and they never even decided to take anything away. You know, but it all depends on the money you make too, and that's why they let Canelo keep his belts. So you know, it's just who you are that the sport of boxing it treats some people fairly and some it doesn't.
It's definitely, man. Let me ask you now. Let's go into one of one of your active fighters. I mean, you know, they're all active, but Jermall Charlo. You know, I know. How is he? Where's his state of mind right now? When's the last time you spoke to him?
I spoke to him a couple of days ago. You know, he's you know, I mean, he's doing his conditioning right now. You know, he's running and doing some stuff at his house. He got a gym built at his house right now, so he's doing a little things by himself right now uh, because of this virus. So, but you know, we was going to schedule him to come back in June, so that probably have to be pushed back now to maybe August, September.
Mhm. And you know, it seems like he's been chasing Golovkin for a long time, man. And I mean, the way how Golovkin is, like, it looks like he only wants to fight Canelo. You know, but what's I mean, because Jamal's at 160. What is his potential opponents, you think, at that division?
Well, he wanted to fight Canelo.
Yeah.
That's the main fight that he wants to fight.
Oh, Canelo.
You know,
Okay.
and if you know, but yeah, but like Triple G, you know, he's chasing Canelo for a third fight. You know, he's chasing money, which is nothing wrong with that. You know, I mean, you're in the business for the money, so why not chase it? You know, everybody wants to fight the guy who you can make the most money with, and that's Canelo Alvarez. But you know, he's agreed to fight somebody else first, and so is Canelo, and then they both are going to fight again. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you know, even when we talk about boxing politics, you know, it's like the guys are not mixing it up. You know, they're kind of picking and choosing who they want to fight. And I mean, being a guy that you know, like yourself used to train back in the day, where everybody was like mixing it up. Like, how
Yeah.
frustrating is this era to you? Is it like a frustrating thing as a trainer, or you just go with the flow? Or,
Well, you know, I've learned a long time ago you got to go with the flow because you can't make fights that can't happen. You know,
mm,
it takes both guys to agree to it. You know, then you got the managers, and then you got the promoters that you have to go through. Then you got the networks you have to go through. You know, it's just so much stuff you have to go through. It's not like back in the day where everybody wanted to fight everybody, and everybody did fight everybody. The Leonards, the Hagler, the Hounds, you know, the McCallums. I mean, you know,
mm,
all of those guys. You know, and it's just, you know, this is just a different era right now, and you know, and there's a lot of money out there right now too, you know, with all the streaming services and, you know, Showtime, you know, Fox, you know, ESPN, you know, I mean, it's really got some good networks too. But, you know, it's just hard to put these fights together, you know. But, you know, sooner or later it's going to happen. I think right now, especially right now, since everybody's on hiatus right now, I think coming back, you know, fans are really be excited to see sports again, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, boxing. You know, people could want to see it again. But you're going to have to put great fights together now in order to compete with the rest. And so I think everybody knows it. And I think this is why everybody is continuing their training, you know, to stay in shape, to not to get too heavy, because as soon as they get that call, you got to be ready or they're moving on to somebody else.
yes, that's it, man. And you know, I guess as far as you know, Lara, man, I know he always in training, man. Like you've been with Lara for a very long time. When did you start training Lara? Like, how long ago?
Well, I started training Laura, uh, man, it's been almost 10 years now that
Hmm.
I've trained him. But I'm not with Laura anymore. For his
Oh,
I didn't train him for his last fight.
oh, okay. So that was so you no longer training Lara.
No, no.
Oh wow, okay. Okay, well, I won't even speak on this, but I know what I met you at with the Herd fight, man.
Right.
That was a great fight, man. I mean,
It was a good fight. It was a really, really good fight, you know. I still thought Laura won it,
yeah.
but you know, I mean, I don't think we would have been mad at a draw. But you know, look, you know, in this day and age, man, judges are judges, and you know, we take the good with the bad, you know. So, and I think everybody in boxing has been on both sides. So we can't say, oh, they did this or they did that. You know, we can't say it, you know, but, you know, we still have our own feelings and we, you know, we all think that we win all the time and sometimes, you know, but going back and looking at it again, I still thought Lara did enough to win, you know, but the knockdown in the last round hurt him. And but we you know, we had a great training camp. He stuck to the game plan. He fought well, and that's all as a trainer you can ask for. You know, and I think he was satisfied with his performance. So, you know, I think the good outweighed the bad.
Yeah, I'm just shocked that he's not. I don't want to get into, you know. I don't know if you mind sharing, but why did y'all stop? Why did y'all separate? Is there something?
Well, he wanted to train in Vegas, and I didn't. you know, I didn't want to do it.
Oh.
I have too many fighters here, and you know, I've gone away before.
Mhm.
Especially, I've gone away before with him when he fought Canelo. Of course, we felt they needed to get away, so I made arrangement with everybody else to, just train with, for my assistants until I got back, and we was gone for like 6 weeks, and that's a long time when you away from your other guys. So, but I said I would never do it again, unless it was a special fight, If it's something special, of course, then I think you have to make the time and arrangements for that guy to have an opportunity to fight a fight like that of that magnitude. But for his last fight, that wasn't the case.
Mhm.
We knew everybody in boxing knew that he was going to stop Canelo's brother early, and he did in the first round anyway, or the second round, first or second round. But that wasn't cause to leave home to go and fight, that guy, you know. So I just couldn't do it. I just had too many fights, too many guys, and too many important fights coming up, and so it was best that he do it with somebody else than me.
Okay, I hear you. I mean, it's good. It was a good split. It wasn't no ill feeling. So I hear you, man. That's good. Yeah.
Oh, I don't have virtual feelings about nobody. Look, every fighter have their own career. This is their career. You know, my career is to train fighters. That's it.
Uh,
Their career is to fight, and you have to be comfortable with, number one, who's training you. You have to be comfortable with them, but you got to, everybody has to make a sacrifice at some point to say, well, I understand this is not a big fight. Maybe I should stay and we do it then and there. But it's not for me to say, fighters have their own mind. This is their business. They have a business as well as I do. And if they feel they can do better somewhere else, hey, uh, I say do it.
I hear you. But I wanted to ask you about Fury Water, but before I do, can I? Is it okay if I bring a friend on to ask you a question? Is that
Sure.
okay?
Mr. Shields, how are you, my friend? How are you? My name is
I'm great, man.
my name is Jalik. I just wanted to ask you a few questions. I know you've been in the game for a minute. Like, when you was little, did you always aspire to be like a boxing trainer or just a boxer, or you wanted to be like a lawyer or
Absolutely,
something?
absolutely not. I I want to be a football player,
Okay.
and but I had so many of my friends, they was all boxers, amateur boxers, And so I was 13 years old. And I just went to middle school. I was in the seventh grade. I went out for the football team. I made it. And then like 2 weeks later, they decided to close our school down, ship us to another school. And when I went to the other school, and I already made the football team, so I I was happy. I was gonna play football, and so when I got to the other school, they told me I had to retry out because it was a lot of new people who wanted to play football. And so we had to do the whole thing all over again. And that really made me mad. So some of my friends say, hey, just come with us to the gym. And so I'm 13 years old. So I said, you know what? I just go to the gym with these guys and, forget football. I just start boxing. And I did and been in it ever since.
Wow. So I'm saying that was you fighting in the amateurs against people like Aaron Pryor? Because I see he was National Golden Gloves in like '78. Who are some famous people that you like went against in the amateurs?
I fought Tommy Hearns twice in amateurs. I fought Howard Davis. I fought Ray Leonard. I mean, I fought some of the best guys ever. I never fought Aaron Prado. Aaron and I was always one division up than Aaron.
Oh, okay.
Wow. And how was that with Sugar Ray, man? Like how did that one go?
Oh, it went, I mean, it was a good fight. We fought in the quarterfinals of the Olympic trials, and
Uh,
I lost a decision to him. It was a close fight though, but close don't count in
uh,
boxing. So, but it was a good fight.
Man, it's just a honor to have you on, man, because you great, you greatness, man. We just want to give you respect, man. You know what I'm saying? This is excellent, man.
I
Um,
appreciate you guys having me.
Oh man, anytime, man. And let me ask you, so if we can touch on this Wilder Fury rematch, man. What would you think about how that all played out, man? If you can.
Well, I think right from the get-go, when they were showing Deontay in the dressing room, I just felt he was worried about something. All the pacing he was doing, walking back and forth, back and forth. I mean, I didn't know what was up with that. I've never seen him like that before. So I knew something was on his mind, just didn't know what. And it really showed when he got in there in the first round. Fury had a game plan, and Wilder just didn't look like he had a game plan. If he did, he didn't follow it because, Fury just jumped right on top of him. And maybe they didn't expect for Fury to jump on top. I mean, I don't know. But Fury used his weight against him. He was leaning on him. And, the thing about it is Wilder didn't know what to do when he started leaning on him. He didn't know how to get underneath and make Fury get off balance and stuff like that. That's just something he didn't work on, and that really hurt him bad. And then, he had no legs. I mean, right from the beginning. And you can't blame him on the suit. That's the worst thing in the world, is to start making excuses when you're fighting for the heavyweight championship of the world. Don't make excuses. Give Fury his props. Fury was ready. He had a great game plan, and he used it against him, and it worked. And Wilder just lost. And people are blaming Mark Whelan for doing something that a trainer, that's his job. His job is to train him, but to look after him also, to save him from himself. And that's what Mark Whelan did. He saved him from himself. But to tell you the truth, if I was in a corner, I would have to fight 2 rounds earlier.
Oh, see, I was gonna ask you that. You got right to my question. So what did you see? Like you saw, he just wasn't there at that point, or you just.
Well, his right hand wasn't there. Sometimes when a guy when a fighter depends too much on one punch, it can really work against you. And it did. It worked against him because he couldn't land it. His jab wasn't there. He had nothing. So when you get in and you have a guy who's getting hit and getting dropped, getting hurt with everything he's getting hit with, as a trainer, you have to not only have sympathy for your fighter, but you have to protect him. That's your job, is to protect your fighter. And that's exactly what Mark Whelan did. And he got a lot of flack, not from the fans, but from his own corner, which was ridiculous to me. I mean, I didn't understand that. And I still to this day don't understand it. I talk to Mark all the time. Mark is one of my best friends. And we talk all the time. And, he just couldn't believe that they was acting the way they was acting toward him. And after the fight, he said he went back, got his bag, and left. Because everybody was mad at him for doing something that he was supposed to do.
Yes.
If Deontay would have got killed in that ring, they would have asked, why didn't you stop it? So it was a no-win situation for Mark. And I feel sorry that he had to go through that. He didn't deserve to go through that. And, it was just too much flack that he was catching for something that he was supposed to do. That's his job. That's what you pay him for. You pay him not only to train you, but to protect you in that ring.
I hear you. Go ahead, Jaleel. You got something for?
You had a question. As a trainer, is it easier for you to train an orthodox fighter, or is it easier for you to train a southpaw? Or does it matter?
It doesn't matter to me. I know how to train both. I've been training both since I was a young kid. So, it doesn't matter to me. I know both styles. So, it's easy for me to do one or the other.
And also as a trainer, like what can, because one thing I notice about Wilder is his balance. Like what, as a trainer, is a specific exercises you do to work on her balance, or what is it that you do to help a fighter with the balance?
Well, it's a lot of things that you can do to help the balance, but he got to be willing to do it. That's the thing. But this is why you call it training.
Right.
You have to spend time and and it takes a lot of time to work on balance, but that's something every fighter should do every day, not just because you're fighting a certain guy. Balance is one of the most important things a fighter has to have in order to get his punches off, especially a heavyweight like Deontay who can punch, you know, with the big right hand that he has. If he didn't have any balance whatsoever, it's why the right hand wasn't there. And he couldn't set up nothing because he had no legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me get in this question. I have a question from El Jefe Boxing Talk. He said, how did it come to be you working with Tristan Calaruth? Is it Cal? Can you tell us about that?
Cal Cruz.
Cal Cruz. Okay.
Yeah.
And he said
Tristan Cal Cruz. Yeah. Well, I his manager name is Lester Bedford, and I've been knowing Lester since I was a kid. Well, actually, Lester used to be a promoter, and he promoted my second pro fight. And after my second and third pro fight, he promoted. And then, after he got out of the promotion game, he just started working with different other promoters to get sites, and they was to pay him site fees and stuff like that. Then he really got in the game and started helping all the promoters. So he worked with like Don King, Main Events. He worked with Main Events for a long time. He still do things with Top Rank sometimes, and he still do stuff with De La Hoya. But Lester has been in the game forever, and he got in the game when he was like 24, and he's older than me. So Lester got to be in his about 65, 66 years old right now. And so him and I always kept in touch. He used to manage Jesse James Leha, who I trained for a while. And, he's managed so many other guys. And whenever he get a fighter, he always call me and say, hey, I want you to take a look at this guy. And so when he got Tristan, Tristan turned pro early. He was like 16, 17 when he turned pro. And now he just turned 18. So he was 17 when he turned pro. And now he's just turned 18. But Tristan, man, I love this kid. This kid, man, he puts a lot of joy in the boxing. He brings his personality is unbelievable. And this kid, he's fighting at cruiserweight, but he's fighting at like 180, 85 pounds right now because he's still a youngster right now, and he's trying to grow into the weight. But this kid he's something special.
So his transition from AM to pro, like, is coming along. How's it coming along? He said.
Absolutely. Oh man, it's coming along great. This kid, man, he listens to everything I tell him. He does everything I want him to do. He understands that you have to try different things in order for it to work. And if you don't try things, then it's not going to work. Simple as that. But this kid, man, I'm telling you, he brings a lot of youth to the sport of boxing, but he brings a lot of power. And this kid, I mean, he wants to train every single day. You got to back him off because he just want to learn everything at one time. And, just trying to settle him down a little bit right now to just make him understand that it takes time. It takes time to develop. And I mean, he was coming on really well, man. He was going to fight this month, actually next week. He was going to fight, and no, I'm sorry, he was going to fight last Saturday, and of course we couldn't because of the virus, and everything got pushed back. But he was going on. He already 4-0 already, and he turned pro this, not too long ago. So I'm looking forward to great things from this kid.
So as far as being a heavyweight champ, like you definitely see that in the future, huh?
He's definitely going to be a heavyweight. His grandfather used to be a fighter, and his grandfather was like 6'7", So, and his dad is not a small guy either. His dad is about maybe 6'4", 6'5", and so Tristan, he's still growing. He's still growing, so he's going to be 6'6" before the end of the year is out.
Go ahead, Jaleel.
Being from how was it like? You from Port Arthur, Texas, right?
Yes.
That's where Janis Joplin's from, right?
Yes, yes, she is.
And UG Pimp C and Bun B,
Yep,
Steven
Bun B.
Jackson. Let
Yep.
me ask you this: besides boxing, I see that I'm a Gemini myself, and most Geminis got many talents. What other gifts did you have besides being a boxer player? I'm sure you got more than one, bro. What other gifts you got?
Like I said, I was good at football. You know,
Oh,
football was gonna be my thing. You know, I wanted to be a football player since I was like, I can never remember. You know, my father and I used to watch the Dallas Cowboys when I was like 6, 7 years old. And from then, I wanted to be a football player. So, and then we used to watch the Friday night fights also. You know, with Ali, Frazier, Foreman, Ron Lyle. I mean, all of those guys. I paid attention to everything, but football was my thing.
so football or tech for Florida or Texas got the best football players, and who the best running back in history? Walter
In
Payton,
history,
Peters. Yeah, Walter Payton, Adrian Peterson. He's from Texas.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, Texas have a lot of good players in the league today too. But back then, yeah, man, Texas always had good good running backs, good defensive players. You know, so we always had guys in the spotlight.
Yeah, my favorite running back in history is one of my favorites is Eric Dickerson.
Yeah,
Played
yeah,
for Texas, right? Yeah, I like Eric.
yeah, yeah. I met him. I met him a few times. He was a hell of a running back.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to we have Finks Art Boxing. He says, "What's up, Mr. Ronnie Shields? Salute, Finks Art of Boxing." There's another question here, man. It's from unbiased or biased boxing. Yeah, he wants me to ask you about the Andrade fight. Any comments on?
I was about to ask you for that. I had to warm up for that.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You can ask.
I was warming up for that.
Well, you know, fighters always talk between themselves, but you know, fighters can't make fights. You know, otherwise, it wouldn't be a need for a promoter. It wouldn't be a need for a manager. You know, and the thing about it is, his manager Ed Hearn, he talks to the fighter. He doesn't talk to Jermall's manager, who is Al Heyman. Now, why is that? Is it because he don't want to fight, or I don't know what it is? So, but me as a trainer, you know, I stay out of it. I let them tell me, the manager call me and say, you know, here's this is who we're fighting. We're fighting this guy. Okay. So my job as a trainer is to prepare my fighter for the fight. And that's simple as that. But fights are made between managers and promoters. So they know who to call if they want to fight Jermall Charlo.
I hear that. Go ahead, Jalik.
It's I was gonna ask. See, I was already gonna ask about the Andre fight. Ask him how does he want to. Unbiased wants to know how does Jermall beat. I don't know if he want to give. That might be giving up the game plan if they ever fight though. Unbiased. They don't want to give up no game plans. They tried to give up the game plan against Julia Williams. He was quiet about that one. Then at the end, I remember that situation. He ain't giving up no game plans on there. So is there particular boxers, like depending on what type of personality you have, that you absolutely wouldn't train? Because we all know that boxing is like most of it is mental too. So I know it's challenging being a trainer. Is it just certain types that you just know, no matter how much money you offer?
Well, I mean, in the sport, man, you know, it's a lot of politics in the sport of boxing. I mean, as you guys know, politics play a big part of it. Because number one, let's say Jermall Charlo, he's with the PBC, with Al Heyman and the PBC. Andre is with Ed and his own. So who do you think would want to show it? They'll want to show it. Don't you think PBC might want to show it?
Yeah.
So, it's all politics. So until they could come up with something like they did with Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, they did a deal, and it ended up being on ESPN platform. So, well, I think it was on ESPN and Fox
Yeah,
platform.
yeah.
So, but but a heavyweight fight, that's warranted. that you can have a split like that. You can't do that for really other fighters unless it was like a Mayweather Pacquiao, something like that.
Right.
You could do a split. So, but it's hard to do it with guys that's not pound for pound 1 and 2 in the world. So, you know, that fight would be hard to get made.
But let me ask you, how do you see the Andre and Jamal? How do you see that fight playing out? If you can.
Well, I mean, look, it's a good fight because
Yeah.
you got 2 of the top middleweights in the world fighting against each other. I mean, it's a good fight. It's no different than Danny Jacobs and Canelo. It turned out to be a good fight. A Triple G and Danny Jacobs, that turned out to be a good fight. I think it's the same. Of course, I think my guy wins, but it's still a good fight overall because you got 2 guys that know the sport, that both train hard, that and they both are world champions. So you can't expect nothing but a good fight.
Okay, I got one last question. I know Jalik may have a one the end us all, but I want to know, man. I'll be a fool not to ask you. What do you think about Crawford Spence, man? I know it's politics since we was talking about it, but how do you see that fight playing out? And if you give us some specifics, that'd be great. I mean, as a trainer, if you see one guy having an advantage, let us know what you think about those 2 guys.
Well, I think to me, I think it's a 50-50 fight because because both guys are really, really good fighters. They both are at the top of their game right now. Errol Spence does so many good things, but so does Terence Crawford. So just looking at it, because I don't have to study either guy. So,
Right.
but if I had a guy at welterweight and I was studying to fight either one of those guys, then I could probably tell you more. But I've never had to study Errol, and I've never had to study Terence Crawford. But just looking at it, both guys bring a lot to the table. With Crawford, he can go orthodox or he can fight southpaw. And Errol, he only fights southpaw position, but Errol probably the strongest guy in the welterweight division right now. And Crawford, he's not a one punch kind of guy. It's just he throws different combinations. He's really smart at how he handles, and how he handles every opponent that they put in front of him. But Errol Spence does the same thing. So it's a tough fight for both guys, but it's a fight that has to happen. And I can't make a prediction right now, but I think it'll be a hell of a fight.
All right. Yeah, appreciate it, man. Go ahead, Jalik.
I appreciate you coming in, taking your time out of and your quarantine time. As far as I got 2 quick questions. When do you see Efe Ajagba fighting for the championship, and what are your thoughts on Virgil Ortiz, another Texas guy, and also Jerron Boots Ennis as a fighter in the welterweight division?
Okay, well, let me go Efe first. Efe definitely part of a fight again this year, and and I think right now he got ranked number 12 by the WBA and number 14 by the WBC. So he's in the top 15 in the world. So I mean, I think that's a good thing. But his next fight, we want to fight somebody even better than who we fought last time. So we have to look for opponents, and then we'll see where we go. But definitely before the end of the year's out, it depends on when we go back. If we go back, say July, August, then everybody can get two more fights in this year, and it'd be somebody hopefully within the top 15 in the world that we fight our next fight. So we're looking for big things for FA. He's ready to go. He has a birthday coming up in the next couple of weeks. He'll be 26 years old. He's still a young guy. He's strong and he's ready to go. So, and that's it about FA. But who else you asked me about?
Virgil Ortiz and Jerron.
Oh, Virgil Ortiz. Let me tell you something. This kid, Virgil Ortiz, this kid is good. He's really, really good. And, sometimes you have to let other fighters go before you say, you know what, I'm gonna rush in, and I want to fight the Errol Spencers, the Terrence Crawfords. I want to fight those guys right away, you know. And sometimes you have to just let things be, settle to the into the division.
Right.
Once you settle into the division, then pick your spots. You don't always have to go and get the top spot right away, because that might be a big mistake. And you know, it's not that he's not ready for a guy like Errol Spence. I think he ought to just let Errol Spence them ride the wave, ride it out of the division, and then he's a young guy, so it's not like he's an older fighter that can't wait, a couple of years to say, you know what, let me just go ahead and bid my time, get my position in the top two in the world, and then let these guys go ahead, Manny Pacquiao, Errol Spence, these guys sooner or later, Manny probably in the next year or two could be out of boxing. Errol is going to be going up in weight. Let these guys, and Terrence Crawford probably too, he would probably have to follow Errol and them up in weight. And then this guy, him and Jaron Ennis, they could be the top two guys in the welterweight division. Because let me tell you something, Boots Ennis, this kid can fight. He can fight, but he's in the same position, I think, as Virgil. You know, let these top guys get out of the way, and then follow, follow in these guys' footsteps. Let them go, you know, and or if the guys stay, but it's also a thing you could say that these guys can stay too long in the division.
Mm.
There's a possibility that they will stay too long in the division, and if you don't listen to your body, sometimes that can happen. And but these guys, let me tell you, these guys are at Virgil Ortiz and Boots Ennis are at least a year to 2 years away from being in the top 5 pound for pound, because both guys are really that good.
Wow. Yeah, that's it. I got two quick hits, man. I know I said I had the last question, but one guy, I want to think Art of Boxing asked me, what do you think about Jermall naming Lara as a future opponent?
It's a good fight. I mean, it's a really, really good fight. I trained both guys before, and I think it's a tough fight on both ends.
Mm.
Jamel is the younger guy. He's a little bit younger than Lara. He's used to spar with Lara all the time, and Lara used to help me with these guys all the time by sparring them, helping them, you know, to train for southpaws and, just showing them different things. And now these guys have learned everything that they need to learn. And Jamel, right now, he's probably one of the best 154 pounders in the world, and, you know, it's a tough fight for Lara because, just because Lara's getting older. But Lara is one of the smartest fighters that anybody can ever fight. You know, he's no pushover for anybody. I don't care who it is. He proved that with Canelo. And this is the reason that Floyd Mayweather never got in the ring with Erislandy Lara, because he couldn't beat Erislandy Lara. Trust me, when he went up to 154 just to win the title to give it up, he didn't want to stay there to fight Erislandy Lara. And it was a reason for that, because he realized that Lara was a master boxer, and Lara still is a master boxer. So whoever Erislandy they get in with, it's going to be tough, because the guy he's a smart fighter.
And I hate to hold you up. I'm not sure what your time frame is, but we like boxing. We like boxing junkies, and we under quarantine. Favorite fighters. So he upset me when I went to the fight and he quit versus Lomachenko. But how do you see him at 118 versus Monster Inoue?
Oh,
Rigondeaux. Rigondeaux.
okay, my boy Rigo.
Rigondeaux, yeah, Rigo.
Hey, let me tell you something. That's a tough fight. But look, Rigondeaux, look, he's 39 years old. So it's not like he can wait
Right.
3, 4, 5 years to fight anybody.
Right.
Whoever he's going to fight, he's got to fight him now.
Mm-hmm.
And but like I say, this is why the virus stopped everything, because the plan was going to be Okay, go down to 115, fight, try to win that title 115, come back up to fight 18 and fight Inu. That was it. That was the fight.
He was gonna go
That was,
down to 115 and not just 118.
no, it was going to go down to 115 to fight for the WBC,
Oh wow.
fight, win that title, and come back up to 118.
Oh wow.
He just wanted to get another title. Look, again, the guy walks around at 121.
Oh wow. So
That's his walk around.
why was he fighting at
He
120?
should have been 18 a long time ago.
Yeah, why did he do that? He still was knocking people out. Wow, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
I mean, but that just lets you know how talented this man is.
Wow.
Guillermo Rigondeaux is one of the most talented fighters I've ever worked with. I mean, I'm telling you, this guy, he has everything. He has everything that a natural fighter is supposed to have, and he's a smart guy, you know. But the last couple of fights, I really had to jump on him a couple of times because, you know, all of a sudden he wants to be a guy that just stand and go toe to toe with guys, and you know, and I really have to get on him about that. And as you saw the last fight, you know, the first round, he went out and got the medal with this guy instead of just boxing him like we worked on every day in the gym for 6 weeks. He didn't do that. And I had to really jump on him in the corner. But he finally got back on the outside, and you see the guy couldn't touch him. You know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, in the first round, the guy hit him with like 33 shots. In the last round, in the last 11 rounds, the guy on the landed like 29 shots in 11 rounds. So, and Guillermo almost knocked him out. He could have knocked him out if he would have paid attention to everything that, you know, that we worked on. You know, he had him hurt, but then he, you know, he didn't get it back. So, but I just kept him on the outside. I know the lead was big, so why take a chance? And the kid was young and was hungry and it was strong. So, but Guillermo did exactly what I wanted him to do from round 2 to 11.
Okay. And, you know, do you think Grigo? I mean, I know he's been a veteran of the game, but did he let the people get to him when you know? Sometimes you hear people booing, and we see him get out of his character doing that toe to toe stuff. Is that what that is, or is it?
Well, that's what it was.
Yep.
He wants to be an exciting fighter. He wants to please the fans. But with his style, you know, look, you have to be a boxing purist to like Guillermo Rigondeaux because of his style. Look, moving and boxing, nobody's going to touch this kid. He's always in shape, always. I've never seen somebody as much as in shape as this kid is always in shape, always ready to go. You know, doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, never did, never will. You know, that's just who he is. You know, and he, you know, I'm telling you, man, this kid he's something special.
Oh man, hey, and I appreciate it. Man. I got 2 questions, but I don't want to keep you no more, man. We had you.
I got so many questions. Too,
Yeah, we got. Okay. Can we get in two quick ones?
Go ahead.
Sorry about that. Okay, there's one guy. He wants to know. Let's see. He says, do you have any tips for small boxers trying to beat tall boxers? Like, how does one overcome height? Battle rifle. So ask that question.
That's a great question.
Yeah, well, you know, look, if you're a small guy, and I have small guys that fight tall guys all the time, you know, you have to know how to get on the inside. That's what you have to work on your inside game, you know, but how to get there, you know, and there's a lot of different ways you have to get there. Number one, you have to use your jab, number one. Number two, you need a lot of head movement, you know, and bobbing and weaving. But, you know, you have to know how to step in to the bob and weave in order to get close, to back the guy up, you know. But then once you get there, you have to know how to stay there, you know, because guys like to hold, but you have to know what to do when these guys trying to hold you. You know, you got to bend, turn, and you have to do a lot of turning both ways in order to keep a guy from holding so much at the same time. You have to move your hands. So, you know, it's not a difficult style. That's a very good style to have, and it's an exciting style to have because people love guys that throw punches and, you know, and like to go forward. So, but, you know, it's not a disadvantage. You know, A lot of people think because they're short that they have a disadvantage. No, if you use your height in the right way, it can be a big advantage for you.
Oh man, that's definitely knowledge there for this guy. And one last question, man. And my last words. He wants to know, unbiased or biased, wants to know who do you think wins out of Andrade and Canelo?
I think Canelo wins. Look, Andrade is a good fighter. He's a good boxer. But sometimes when you haven't fought the best guys, the learning experience is not the same. I think with Canelo, here's a guy who can punch. But at the same time, Andrade's style is a little different than Lara. When I had Lara to fight Canelo, as you saw, Lara moved side to side. He circled him, side to side, head movement, not standing right in front of him. He gave Canelo fits. Andrade can't fight that way. He don't have the ability to move side to side like Lara did. He don't have the ability to move the head and stuff that way. You can't stand in front of Canelo and go punch toe to toe with him. That's just not the right fight against a guy like Canelo because you want to make him have to look for you. With Andre, with his style is come forward also. So you got two styles that's coming forward. Andre is a good puncher, but he's not a big puncher. Canelo Alvarez is. He's a big puncher who can punch with both hands. And his, picked up his defense. His defense is really good. So if Andre were to stand and try to go toe to toe with Canelo, he gets knocked out.
Oh, yeah, that would be interesting because Andrade, yeah, he's slick, but yeah, I hear you on that, man. That's definitely true.
Yeah, he's slick, but he's slick. But there's a difference between being slick and being a mover. He's
Right.
not a mover, because being slick, okay, you got good side to side head movement. That's good. But there are punches to draw you into punches. You understand?
Yes.
And Canelo will be throwing wide shots to keep him in the middle for uppercuts and straight punches.
Mm. And my last words, and I'll let Jalik call lead us out. But I really appreciate you coming in, man, taking your time and doing this time. And I hope looks like everything's well on your end, and I just hope everything goes well until we get back to this boxing thing, man. So I appreciate you, my brother.
Oh, no problem, man. Anytime.
Okay, go ahead, Jalik. I'm done.
Come on, if Andre ever fight Canelo, we have to have a friendly bet, like a donation bet, because I got Andre being the best at middleweight, 160. People be getting on me all the time. But do you have any social media, or do you have your own gym that you train out of, and do you accept donations for people that want to donate to your gym? Because I'm sure you help a lot of at-risk people and things like that.
Well, I just opened my gym late January.
Okay.
I just opened a new gym, and of course we've been closed for the last month. So right now we haven't got the social media thing set up yet. So right now I'm not even on social media.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you taking your time out to come answer some questions for us boxing junkies. We going through withdrawal without boxing right now. Appreciate it.
All right, man. No problem. You guys have a good day.
You too, Ronnie, man. Appreciate you, man.
All right, man. Thanks.
All right, thanks. Thank you. Okay, bye.
Cool, Joe. Appreciate that, bro.
Hey, Jalik, man, that was some good stuff, man. Mr. Ronnie Shields, man. Hey, you got time? You want to wrap chat up or?
Yeah, we can chat. Yeah, what's popping, man?
Yeah, man. I saw you see Errol Spence, man, with that interview he did. What was that?
Fight Hype?
Yeah, Fight Hype. What did you think about that interview?
First, let's break it down, because first he was talking about, I seen the one where he talked about Virgil Ortiz, and I looked at it, I was like, because if he's about 8 years older than Virgil Ortiz, so if he was 16 and Virgil Ortiz was 8, he called him a crybaby. I think Virgil Ortiz might have took it the wrong way, but that let me know Virgil Ortiz is really serious about his thing, so that was cool too. But the way he said it, he wasn't saying it, because if you're 8 years old, you're a little kid, like you don't even understand certain things. So that was interesting right there. He looked like he was recover. He sounded different too. He didn't sound slurred as much too. So I guess whatever surgery he had is probably finally coming to the end. So he sounded like his regular self again. I'm not sure what his weight is, but I did find it interesting. I kind of figured that when he said he was about 190 for the Mikey fight or the Sean Porter fight, I kind of figured it because I was like, yo, dude is pretty big. And a lot of people was like, nah, he's not that big. I'm like, trust me, bro. You can kind of tell by if you look at their face. And then him talking about Crawford, I mean, he said he sound confident. We gonna see. He sound confident. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, man, Crawford, man, I just think he, he says I hate when they start. I mean, I'm an Errol Spence, supporter, man, so as well as Crawford. But when they talk about if it makes sense, man, once they start talking that mess, man, I get kind of beside myself, man, a little bit,
bro. Nobody is bigger than the sport, man. That's what I'm trying to. You see, with this coronavirus, it's just you never know. What if they say you can't box for 2 years? What you gonna say? Oh, and then you know what I'm saying? So it's like, come on, bro. Like, just you make that's their biggest fight. They're gonna make the most money. You gotta realize they're not Floyd or Oscar De La Hoya, so they gotta develop into that. So I mean, that stuff get crazy right there, man.
Yeah, hey, let's see, LFA trying to get in. But yeah, let me say before you get in, let me say, man, both these guys, man, Spence and Crawford, it's like they don't are they not realizing the time that they're in? Like neither one of them are like Canelo bringing in Canelo numbers. Not saying Canelo's is just great. So just fight, man. Make it, build it up. Obviously, we want to see you can see a trilogy, a rematch, but the money is not gonna be it's never gonna be where they want it to be. So. It just anyway, man. Go ahead, LFA, man. You in the building, man. What's up, man?
Yeah, man. Appreciate for having me on, bro. That was a great interview, bro. So
yeah,
I really appreciate you asking my questions, man. And what up, Jalik?
I never heard of the dude. I'm gonna have to check him out. That was a good question, Happy.
Yeah, Tristan. Yeah, he signed with Golden Boy not too long ago. He's from Grand Prairie, where Ortiz is from. So he's an up and coming man.
And is he big? Like, okay, I gotta check him out.
Yeah, he's like 6'5", bro.
I'm gonna have to bet Ronnie Shields, bro. He got Canelo beating Andre.
Oh,
I bet him, man.
But he actually broke it down, bro. Because if you really think about it, Andre, like his footwork ain't as good as, let's say, Lara, man.
He doesn't.
So he put out some good points.
Yeah, man. That's why I didn't even talk. I just let him go, man. Because he's definitely breaking down how he would even train. I mean, it's just you could hear how you would train. How you would even attack a guy like Andre. He said it. But I think Canelo, man. We just don't know, man, because he did kind of skip that 154 somewhat, man. He didn't really, test himself that much. He fought Lara, but I'm just, it's a guys that he's missing in action. He should have fought Jermall already. You know what I'm saying? He should have fought a few guys. What do y'all think? I mean, because I just think like he skipped 54 to me, honestly, man. Like, go ahead.
I think I do understand the point you're saying, but at the same time, I think I don't know if he could have made the weight because he was like stuck at 155, so he didn't want to go to 160. And at the same time, it was like a learning experience for him, those fights. So you could say that, but at the same time, like, was he really ready for those fights? And were those guys like those fights weren't going to be as big as they are now? Right. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, yeah. I mean, but just this moving up to 168, fighting who's that guy he fought, man? I don't even remember the guy's name.
Rocky Fielding.
Yeah, Rocky Fielding, man. Like, I mean, he could do what he wants, but I'm just saying, it just it kind of like it leaves us like thinking, like, what if we got another we got in here? We got King Unbiased. I don't know if you want to unmute himself, but go ahead, man. If y'all want to talk about something.
Yeah, I agree, but like, what I consider the prime of Canelo is right now, bro. If Canelo doesn't take like the Charlo, the Andre, the whoever else he has to fight, bro, that's when we could really criticize Canelo. I think Canelo right now is in his peak. I think he really wants all the fights that people are saying. The only fight that you could say he's somewhat ducked or whatever is the better BF, and that's because he's way bigger. But
yeah,
I think
But Jalik, man, did you? So when I said that Andrade doesn't fight like Laura, and that he couldn't do what Laura did. Do you see like a professional trainer even told you the same thing? I'm just saying, bro. Like I've been saying that for a while.
I keep telling y'all, bro. Listen. he said that about him, but then he has Charlo who stands right there. So what game plan is he gonna have for Charlo? Because Charlo don't move like Laura neither. You see what I'm saying? Come on, bro.
I don't know, man. I straight punches.
His can't give up his game plan.
Yeah, that's why I wish you would have let him speak on that, man. Because
that's what he really can't give up his game plan. You know they can only say but so much. They can't.
Yeah, but you should have just asked him to see if he would have gave a little something away.
You didn't hear him at the end? He did ask about Canelo and Andrade.
No. I'm talking about Jermall versus Andrade.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe sometimes they'll speak on it, man. But yeah, I was letting them, I mean, but he seemed like
you guys did a great interview, man. Like seriously, that was awesome.
Hey man, appreciate you, man. Hey man, hopefully, man, we get them back, man. And I'll probably try to schedule this so, man, y'all know ahead of time because I know some of y'all a few of y'all jumped on.
I was gonna ask him. I had so many questions for him. He sparred Thomas Hearns. I was gonna ask him about Floyd versus Thomas Hearns. I was gonna ask him about all that because Ronnie Fields is short too. So, and you see what he said about just because you're the shorter fighter, that's not not necessarily a disadvantage, which I already kind of knew that, but yeah.
I think right now is like the perfect time, bro, to get like these interviews with these fighters and promoters because they're all in house.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to get Derek James, man, but he didn't answer my text, man. But I want to actually talk to him, man. That'd be a good one too. Because these trainers, man, these are like living. These guys are kind of underrated, man. As far as he's always talking about, Freddie Roach ain't been mentioned lately, but I guess these guys have some of the best guys. Man, they got right now, and the way how them guys accelerated and got to the point they are is due to the training. You know what I'm saying? So these trainers, man, they know they got the answers that we're looking for. You know what I'm saying? So
what's your thoughts on the Errol Spence thing, though? What's your thoughts on it?
The interview?
Yeah. What's your thoughts on it?
Oh yeah, y'all go ahead. I already answered that one. I mean, unless you want me to repeat
I haven't seen it all. I only saw the Virgil Ortiz part. So I haven't saw what he said about Terence Crawford because he did say something about Crawford.
That he'll stop him, and then remember when he first had the interview on Fox, he's kind of slurring his words. His words don't slur no more, so that's good for him.
Yeah, he said he got. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say he got used to his dentures already, so yeah, he's good now.
Hey man, that's cold. That's cold, man. He ditches. Hey, I don't know what. Hey, but let me tell you though, man. He said he'll bully. He said he'll bully Crawford, man. He said that's what he said, man. So I don't know.
You gonna see, bro.
Yeah, I don't know about none of that. You know what I'm saying? But it sounds good. You know what I mean? And I like the way he's talking. I'm not gonna hate on him for saying he could beat Crawford. I think as a fighter, he should be saying stuff like that. So. Yeah. I'm just glad. And also like you said, Jalik, it's good to see that he sounds more coherent in this video. So he's getting better.
Hey, do they have a common opponent? Let's see. No, huh? They don't have no common opponent.
Crawford. That's true.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting on, man. I'm waiting on to see. But it's like I want to see. I think Spence come back and fight that. What's that guy Crawford beat? I forgot his name, man. I can't even think of it. I need to
Mean Machine.
Yeah, Mean Machine, man. Whatever the hell he call it. Mean Machine. That'll be. I mean, I don't know if Mean Machines would top rank, but I want to see a common opponent, man. Or if they want to just get it on, but I don't think it's fair that Errol Spence just jumps in there with a. I mean, do y'all think that's correct for him to just jump in with Crawford, or you think he need a tune-up?
Nah, he need a tune-up. He need at least 3 tune-ups.
I don't even think he should jump in with Danny, bro. I don't think that's a smart idea.
You don't think Danny's smart? Oh, yeah, I don't even think. Yeah, I don't know,
bro. Crazy, bro.
What you think? What happened? You said Danny. He eat up Danny, or what you saying, Jalik?
Oh, I think he'd get Danny about 8 rounds to 4. But like you said, he got to test that jaw out. But he can just stay away from Danny because Danny's arms is too short, and then his ability to land the left hooks against southpaws ain't the same. So I think he'd get.
No, I mean I agree with you. If you like, I'm talking. You're talking about like a healthy Errol Spence. I'm talking about the Errol Spence that just flipped his Ferrari like 6-8 times. You know what I mean? Like I think a comeback fight, he's deserving of a lesser quality opponent just to see if he's functioning right.
Yeah, okay. And which I think should be the #1 mandatory to IBS, so he can do because that top ranked dude Codratillo fight him. That'll get his mandatory out the way and also be like a tune-up fight. Because I seen dude fight. He's not really, you know what I'm saying? He ain't better than Danny or nothing. So that's what I think. In that way he can do it. And then, but they dealing with money and business and it's a lot of things going on with that. So
hey, hey, before y'all get out of here, man, let me ask you. I was looking at 154, man, and I'm trying to figure out how this guy Patrick Teixeira get a WBO belt. I don't know how that happened, man. Do y'all know? That is strange, man. I'm looking at it right now. I see Jermall, you got Rosario, and then this guy Patrick Teixeira has a WBO title.
Carlos Adames for the vacant belt that
yeah, when Mujia left.
Jaime Munguia.
Munguia vacated. Oh,
so him and Adames had fought for it.
Yeah,
that's a joke, man. Yeah, but I don't know who. See, that's the thing about Munguia, man. Like I seen a few of his up live, and like who is he gonna fight, man? He's like they still is like they can't take the kitty gloves off this guy, man. Or is it just a politics preventing some fight?
The zone got the middleweight, so they're gonna feed him either to Canelo or some other middleweight, bro. Because there ain't no escaping the middleweights at the zone.
Yeah, that's true, man.
I like Jaime Munguia. If he keep improving, you never know, bro. If he keep training hard, if he had Nacho, what's his name? Nacho Bernstein, bro. Shit, he'll be woo. I like Nacho Bernstein, but you never know, man. You never know how he train and shit like that. We'll see, man.
Yeah, hear that, man. Well, I mean, if y'all ain't, I could talk all day, but I know y'all got stuff to do, man. Thanks, Art of Boxing, man. Good chiming in with you, man. Hey, El Jefe, man. Hey, it's always a pleasure, man. Jalik.
Yeah, I appreciate you inviting me, man.
Oh yeah, man.
Do the interview.
Yeah, man. Me too, bro.
Shout out to you, man. John. Another great interview probably be John David Jackson. He very underrated, bro. Plus he got John David Jackson, bro.
Yeah, and I gotta ask about Carissa. Carissa, I got some issues with some of the stuff. But that's a whole nother. Carissa, man, tripping, man. In my opinion, man. Hey, I could get busy on that topic alone, man.
But John Jackson is like one of the best trainers, but he don't really get the credit though.
Yeah, he is. He is.
Nate Campbell go way back.
Oh yeah. Hey, Nate Campbell was. I never forget that Juan Diaz fight, man. Nate Campbell was in there. He
wasn't Ronnie Shields Juan Diaz trainer at the time?
I think so. Yeah, he was.
Baby boy, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Ronnie Shields.
Wow. Oh shoot, man.
I think it was his trainer, Baby boy, out of Houston.
Hey, you know what needs to happen, man? We got to get two trainers on at the same time, man.
That'd be nice, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can swing that, man. Hopefully, man.
Go, bro. John David Jackson and who else? El Jefe? What other trainer?
Bro,
Freddie Roach. You could throw him up there too.
What, bro?
And Freddie Roach would even, man. That dude, hey, I got that guy ain't getting no line, dude.
Freddie, you know what? You never know. He might do it. Who knows?
Yeah, he might do it. But at least, you
got to get them up and comers, man. I think those are the best ones to get. Like Boots Ennis' father, and I think that's a good one.
Yep, Boots and his father. And Virgil Ortiz, Ryan Garcia dad.
Oh yeah.
Ryan Garcia dad, Virgil Ortiz dad trained too, right?
Yeah, bro, you could get Virgil Ortiz's dad and ask him all about the Earl situation, bro. I'm sure he got a lot to say.
Boots and his dad. Man, it's so many things out there. I mean, yeah.
Okay, well, hey, man, if somebody could do it, man, let's somebody do it, man. But I haven't tried, man, myself, man. Then we can just put out, we can ask some questions, put the link in the chat, man.
Yeah.
But hey, man, y'all been great, man. I appreciate y'all, man.
Looking out, bro. All right, Jefe.
Yeah, man. Y'all have a good one. Stay safe out there, man.
All right, bro.
Hey,
peace.
Y'all too. Peace, El Jefe. Jalik, peace.